What's up, Pop Parks TV? I'm Heather here, and I'm with Liddy Clark. Welcome.
Hi.
Thanks for
Thank you
joining
so
us
much.
today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. We're excited to dive in because you have a new single out that we will get into. But you've been in the industry for quite some time here, since you were younger. So tell all the fans out there who may not be familiar with your music, how you got into the industry, what made you want to get into singing?
Yeah, so basically, I started singing when I was like 7 years old. I had just moved from Texas to Florida. And so my grandma had done like all this genealogy research. And so she was telling me like all these cool, interesting facts about her family. And I found out that like we're very, very distantly related to Pocahontas in history. And that just like blew my mind as a 7-year-old. And, I love Disney movies and I still do. And Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas, I was like, ooh, that's a great song. I'm very inspired at the moment. So I think I'm going to pay homage to my ancestor by performing Colors of the Wind at my new school talent show. And that's how I'm going to make all my friends. And then my parents were like, oh, okay, we didn't know you sang. And I'm like, yeah, now I do. And so I surprised. Yeah, no, they hadn't even heard me perform it until it was like up on stage. And they were like, oh, she actually can like keep pitch. That's an interesting thought right there. And then after that, I just decided I really wanted to get involved in like the theater at my school and outside of school. And I started taking vocal lessons. And I did theater for a while growing up. I played Annie like 3 times due to the hair. And so I had a lot of experience just like be on stage and getting to kind of play a character and stuff like that. But around the time I was 13, I started to venture off into like new stuff, like pop music and country music and indie music and all the different modern genres of music. And so I decided, I'm going to learn how to play guitar. I want to see if I can maybe write something because I had been like journaling and diarying when I was in like 7th grade, 13 years old. So I was like, maybe I can put this to music. And I ended up, continuing to do that. And here I am today, still doing that.
So cool. I love that story. And you have a new song coming out, or came out already, sorry, called Hit and Run.
Yes.
What was the inspiration behind that and what went into writing the single?
That's actually one of the songs that I wrote like a few years ago now. I have a few songs that I've been putting out that are like really, really recent. And that one's like a few years older in the spectrum of like ages of songs. But I wrote that one a few years ago with 2 good friends of mine that were co-writers. And I came into that session with kind of the hook in my mind of like Hit and Run would be a great song title. And so I kind of just related everyone to the situation of like having somebody come into your life really quickly and then, them being gone kind of in an instant and you not really knowing like what's going on. How did I end up here? Why am I so upset? This literally just happened. I should be emotionally stable, but I'm not. I'm kind of wrecked, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And so we all kind of had, stories like that. And we all took personal anecdotes from our lives and put them into the song. And it's kind of one of those songs that we've been reproducing for a few years now. And so the version that just came out is actually the most recent version. I think it's like our 5th produced version because we've tried a lot of different ways and trying to figure out like what kind of artistic style I'm wanting to put out into the world. But we've finally got it. I mean, this is about as me production style as like the rest of the music that's going to be coming out very, very soon.
Very soon.
So I'm excited. It's kind of a transition track into what my new sound is going to be, or really what my sound has always been. But now I've like delved into it and gotten it. So
yeah. Speaking of that new sound, you have a debut album coming out soon.
I hope so. We actually just finished mastering the album maybe like a month ago. And so I've got like 13 songs ready to go. We're really just like putting together a release plan and figuring out, which song to put out first and kind of how to market that. And so I think within the next month, there may be something on the web.
Wow, that's sooner than I was thinking. Wow, that's good.
I know. We're trying to get all of our ducks in a row really quickly so we can get everything out, before the election and before, anything else gets crazy in the world. So, yeah.
How do you kind of come up with those 13 songs? Like, I feel like you probably wrote and recorded a bunch more than that. So like, how did you pick those 13?
Yeah, no, it's so difficult because like I've been writing so much over the past few years, but there are just certain songs that I always come back to as a writer and that I always like want to perform out live, or even, you know, like when I test out a new song live and something like, you know, I'm not sure if anyone's going to like it, but I want to see like what the audience reaction is. The songs that like my friends or like my fans will come up to me and be like, yo, that was really cool. I really like that song. Can you please put that out? I like make a mental note in my mind. I'm like, okay, that's one that has to be like on the list of like what we're going to be putting out. And so I've been kind of, it's really difficult because I feel like I'm always writing a song and like it's never really completely over, like the writing process, and I want to go back in and fix like little things. But the ones that I feel the most solid about writing wise and I think are completely done, those are the ones I picked and the ones that fans love at shows. And it's a little bit of a process, but I'm really happy with what turned out.
Did you work with a few different producers on this album, or was it the same throughout the whole thing?
Same guy, Mark Siegel. He's out of Nashville. He's a very dope producer. And it's really cool because I was kind of able to really like input what I wanted out of the songs production wise as well, which is something like I hadn't necessarily been doing up until this point. It was kind of like, okay, this is a really good producer and this guy really knows what he's doing. So let's see what he comes up with. And now it's like, okay, Liddy, what are you hearing in your mind when you wrote this song? And what do you hear production wise on these songs? And we really wanted to go with like, I don't know, not necessarily a genre specific style, but really just like more what the song called for. Like we didn't want to say like, oh, this is a pop song, so we're going to put like a bunch of electronic synths and then all this other like typical pop stuff. It was like, no, what about like what the song requires and what the song like you hear in your head is. So yeah.
So is it going to be kind of a mixture of like pop, country, kind of a few different genres types in it?
A few different genres, yeah. Okay. No, it's crazy because I've always like felt like I had to solidify myself in one genre or else people would be confused by like my songs or my artistry and they'd be like, well, what are you? Are you a country singer? Are you a pop singer? Do you even know who you are? And I'm like, yes, I do know who I am. And I love all of this. Right. And so I want to put out songs that I love. And sometimes they're in, you know, different genres sort of, but they're all connected through songwriting. Like they all have a very similar vein that they're flowing through in terms of like the way that I try and craft the words and the melodies. And I think it's just like a lot of variety, but still on the same level, if that makes sense.
Totally.
But I'm influenced by like a bunch of different genres. So yeah, you'll see that in the album.
I love it. It's so exciting. I'm really excited for that because I love when different genres can come together and make it your own. So that's so exciting. Can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, yeah, that's so cool.
Is there anyone that you want to work with like going forward after this album's released? Or actually, is there anyone that you could tease that maybe is on the album?
I actually don't have any collaborations on the album besides me and the producer and some of the co-writers I worked with, but like we're talking dream collabs here.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I would like die to work with Julia Michaels. I think she is so insanely talented and just everything she writes, you can hear like a little piece of her and it's always just shown me so unique. And I don't know, I think that's a staple I'd like to kind of leave with my songs as well, like something like that impressive and that creative. And so I'd love to work with her sometime, you know, if it ever arises.
Right. And a lot of your fans know that you do tons of covers on your TikTok. Have any of those people that you've done covers of reached out to you and like, oh my gosh, I saw that, or anything like that?
Dude, yeah, I did a Hunter Hayes cover a few years ago, and I remember like he specifically like commented on the page on the post, and he was like, "Yo, this is so dope," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." And like I've also done a few Kelsey Ballerini covers over the years, and like she does those little fan like videos that she kind of puts all the covers into and like combines them, and I've been featured in a few of those, so that's been really awesome.
And she's one of those that I feel like crosses over into genres too. Like,
yeah,
you know, she always is collabing with different people. So there's kind of that mixture in the country world too.
Yeah, no, I respect her so much for like, even her past album, she explicitly said like, we're going to produce the songs the way that the songs need to be produced. I don't want to like fit too much into like, she's not country or she's not pop. And it's just, it's so bold of her to do that and just kind of let the songs be what they are. And that's kind of the motto I'm taking into this as well.
Exactly. Now, are you going to USC this semester? Because I know the world's a little crazy right now, but
Yeah, I actually am. I'm in my third week of classes right now, and so that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, when I originally planned out my classes, I had like 3 of them back to back to back, so I only had to go on campus for a few hours and then I could leave. But now it's like I'm on Zoom for 6 hours.
yeah.
Just like dying by the end of the day.
Oh my gosh, I bet. How do you manage being a student and, having this blossoming music career?
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, it's actually gotten a little bit easier now that I don't have to like necessarily spend as much time, doing makeup before going out, or I don't know, just like other stuff with school, like travel time to go to school and like walking and getting food and stuff. Like I'm pretty much forced to stay in my apartment all the time and learn how to cook. So
True. Very true.
You don't realize like how much time that cuts out, and then you're left with like so much more extra time where you're like, okay, now I have like an extra hour that I can spend like writing this song, or I can spend, making this demo on my computer or filming a cover video. And it's kind of opened up a lot more things, as well as, like the downsides are obvious, but I'm trying to look at it from a more of a positive standpoint, because it's a little bit harder to do that.
Yeah. Exactly. And I know you're super passionate about dogs, and I want you to tell everybody about fostering, because you've had some really, really cute ones. And I'm a dog lover too. I have 4 dogs who are sleeping right now, being nice little cute dogs and behaving themselves right now. But I want everyone to hear about you and fostering dogs.
Yes. So I am a huge dog lover back home in Florida. My parents have 3 dogs. And so I grew up surrounded by dogs, and it's just kind of something that like my family and I really love. And so coming out here to LA, I was kind of sad for a bit because, I was living in a dorm that was like this big, and so I couldn't really have a dog. And so now that I've like started to move into larger spaces and like more adult apartments, I've decided to get involved with this organization called Wags and Walks out here in LA. They've got an office down in Santa Monica. It used to be right by my work, which is really exciting. And yeah, I mean, I've fostered a few dogs at this point. I think I'm probably going to get another one within the next month, just because I'm missing them so bad. And it's such a wonderful organization, because you get like the training you need in order to be able to like learn how to foster the dogs. But then like, once you have that, once you sign up to foster the dogs, they give you all the supplies you need. You really just need to like give them love and make sure that they know that like they can trust people and that it's going to be okay when they move into their like new home. The only sad part is, giving up the dog and never seeing them again.
But they're going to a good home, so that's what matters.
It is, for sure.
Okay, I have a little game that we're going to play before I let you go. And it's just going to be the first thing that you think of as soon as I say it. Okay, you ready? Okay.
I'm scared.
Go to Starbucks drink.
Go to Starbucks drink? Okay, it's going to be a venti strawberry acai lemonade.
Ooh.
I don't know if you've ever tried that, but the strawberry acai drink there is wonderful, but they make it with water. So if they make it with lemonade instead of water, it's a little bit sweeter, and I'm addicted to sugar. So
let me try that. Song that makes you hit the dance floor.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why this is the first thing that popped into my head, but Evacuate the Dance Floor, that song from the mid-2000s. Oh, evacuate the dance floor.
I love it. Favorite accessory or makeup item?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna say my Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have the rose gold like palette collection, and so I have like both the golden like looking one that's got more of like the goldy colors, and I've got like the pink one that has more of like the rosy pink dusty colors. And so I love eyeshadow. Wow. You probably can't tell because I didn't wear any today, but it's one of my favorite things to do makeup wise, because you can just like kind of create a little picture on your eyelid.
I love it. Most hated house chore?
The shower. I hate cleaning the shower.
The shower too. Yep.
The worst. Yeah.
One thing you would take with you if you were stranded on an island?
Oh man. Guitar. I mean, it's pretty cliche, I guess, but I think I'd go crazy without like some way to listen to music. So
sure. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Lobster mac and cheese.
Ooh, good choice.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. We go bougie
favorite
here.
place to vacation?
Ooh, we went to Exuma in the Bahamas a few years ago, me and my family, and it's just incredible there. It's the place where they have like the swimming pig island. I don't know if you've seen pictures of that on Instagram. Yeah, and they have like the most crystal blue, like clear water, and you can go like swimming with nurse sharks. And they had this great drink that I was drinking on the boat, and it's just, anytime I think of Exuma, I'm like, wow, to be there right now. I wish.
I'm putting that on my list. Love.
It's so worth it. Like the prettiest water I have ever seen, ever. Yeah.
Your biggest fear?
I guess my biggest fear is not being liked by people, I guess. And that's more of like a psychological thing into my mind. But, you know, I'm trying to work on that in therapy and everything, and like learning how to kind of be okay with the fact that not everyone's going to like me. And I just need to be confident in what I want, who I am. And so that's something I want to focus on.
Yes. Go-to karaoke song?
Oh gosh, what's the name? Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down. You know that one. Mr. Brightside, The Killers. Yes.
Got it. Secret celebrity crush?
Oh, it's not a secret, but
okay.
Oh gosh, I'm forgetting. Harry Styles. Oh my gosh, Harry Styles.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course.
This may be a tough question for you.
Okay.
But favorite type of dog?
Oh, there's so many. Oh my gosh, I think corgis have been like my favorite to follow on Instagram for a while, just because like they have like little short legs. Whenever they roll over, it just looks so funny.
You put a bow tie on them, and they're just like the cutest thing ever.
Oh my gosh,
it's horrible.
We have a famous corgi at USC. His name is Tofu. I don't know if you've seen him on Instagram.
Tofu?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Tofu. And so we had like a corgi club meetup at USC like a few months ago, back before everything hit the fan. And there were just like 40 corgis all congregated on this lawn, and I got to meet all of them and pet them, and it was the most wonderful experience.
And
Tofu was there.
The best day ever.
It was. So many Instagram pictures. I mean, wow. It was wonderful.
Well, we can't top that. So I'm going to have you tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram and on TikTok and all social media platforms.
Okay. Well, you can find me at Liddy Clark, LIDDYCLARK. And that's my handle for Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Vine, Snapchat. All of the things. Like, I try and keep it consistent. So
that's
what I do.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Liddy. This has been so much fun, and we can't wait for your new album to come out.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was great talking to you guys.
Nice talking with you too. Bye.
Bye.